I just did it again. I had muted the mic at some point and totally forgot to unmute it. So, sorry about that. That can happen sometimes. All I was going to say was, I did all the tests that I normally do with this Halnziye on the VRM. That way, once we get the TGPP10 on there, if for some reason it doesn't work again, I've got some data we can go with. Ideally, I don't want to use the Halnziye data though. That's just the backup plan. This stuff is quite soft. Hard to say for sure. I think this is softer than when like brand new fresh TGPP10. Yeah, it seems that way to me anyways. So I'm gonna quarantine this putty because it did sort of touch TGPP10. I don't want to mix it with the stuff in the new container. It's a pretty late night stream for me, but yeah, I was testing, troubleshooting, and recording stuff. I puttied another card and I took my time. I think you guys would be proud of the result. Let me show you a picture of the other card that I did. Let's see if I can open it here. Where would that be? Projects, putty how to. Oh no, I didn't, well, that sucks. Just a sec, we're gonna pause the music here and show you guys a still image of a video. Yeah, I'll share screen here. Okay, earlier, I recorded this. And yeah, I puttied a 3070 using a few different techniques. And I was prepping the VRAM surface and all the surfaces by rubbing putty on it. It helps for adhesion. And the end result looked a little bit like... I could have sworn I had a still image. Yeah. So this was applied with a syringe. This was rolled by hand into a cylinder or a log roll, whatever. And these were putty balls. And I used mathematics to figure out all the diameters and everything. And we used 44 or 43. Let's double check. Like 44 grams. Total cost in putty for a 3070 UTP-8 shipped to my door is $19.61. So like 20 bucks Canadian. That's like what is that? $16 US. So pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. I'm going to close this. I'm going to get the music going again. We'll get back to it. Ooh, I shouldn't have closed the music. That's okay. We'll start with this one. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So I've got to do a bunch of editing and all that and chop down what looks like 2.5 hours of footage. Well, I got to get more too, so it'll be 3 hours of footage probably. It's going to be a bit of work. Just like this putty, I think. I just had to pick a super soft putty. It's funny because I had this card so clean. Wow, so clean for me the other day. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Mine's, or the start of the weekend, I guess. Good Friday. Hopefully your week went well and now you're able to relax. Oh dear. Putty's really not meant to be removed when it's this fresh. It's better to cook it for a while. It's just like when you're baking bread, right? I don't know if you guys bake bread or anything, but or like cookies, you know, if you don't leave it in long enough, it's gooey in the center. You gotta bake that putty and just make it a little bit more firm. Not much, but just a little. Because this fresh stuff, at least for Halnziye, for all of their putties, they're quite soft. I still like them. I like this one because it's green, and it performs half decent, right? I'd say more than half decent. It's in the upper half of putty performance, which is pretty good. So I'm not sure how clean I'm going to be able to make this, but I'll try to get it somewhat clean. So just off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure the GELID extremes here, with the testing with the Halnziye, which we're going to redo it with TGPP10, it'll probably be the same result, similar, but yeah, it's not quite as good as the GPU riser pads. A little bit warmer. Which I was expecting from my previous testing of it. I mean, I like that the Halnziye is green and it performs okay. I don't like cleaning it up when it's still this soft. I wish I had baked it for a year or two and then try taking it off. Oh, and an update on the my hunt for a test card. A little bit of an update, anyways. I don't think 7000 series is going to be an option because it seems like it's also going to be 2 degrees Celsius resolution. Because the one claim of it potentially being 0.1. I'll have to look back at the comments, but the person got back and updated us and said that no, it was in fact 2 degrees Celsius. So I don't know. I might be stuck with having to go with a 6000 series, like the 6950 XT. The RAM or the GDDR6 runs at 18 gigabits per second, so it's just a little bit behind the 19 that 19.5 that a 3090 does. You know, ideally I'd like it to be the fastest, hottest VRAM, but I guess it's more important that we have finer resolution rather than the hottest VRAM for comparing. I still want to be able to test and show how effective putty can be against the hottest stuff. So maybe we'll get lucky and the 50 series or the 8000 series from AMD, maybe they'll have a finer resolution. I don't know. I can only hope, because that would make my job a little bit easier. Guess I shouldn't call it a job. It's more of just a hobby, but an expensive hobby. Yeah, I'm gonna probably clean this better another night. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of TGPP10. Yeah, I was kind of stoked about the possibility of a 7000 70. I was gonna go big. I was gonna get a 7900 XTX with like VRAM going at 20 gigabits per second. It was gonna be sweet, but no bueno. 2 degrees Celsius resolution. And I haven't heard back again from Martin at all, so I don't think he's going to respond back at this point, and I'm not going to bug him, because yeah, I don't want to piss him off or anything. I'm just hoping in the future we can get finer resolution for memory junction out of NVIDIA cards. Because no matter what, we're going to have to test GDDR7. Let's see. Good core contact, so I'm not worried about the pads at this point. It was putty causing the problem previously, which is a new one for me. Well, not new, but it just doesn't happen that often. It's definitely happened more often to me with pads than with putty, even though I've done a lot more putty jobs than pad jobs. That's strange saying. I've only done... Oh, trying to think. Thermal pads, probably... Well, like other than the test card, I guess I've done all sorts, but when I've done like a full card before, I've done maybe 6 or 7 not including any of this test card at all of thermal pads, but putty, I've probably put putty on this card and other cards, oh, I don't know, 60 or 70 times now. It's a lot of putty. So I'm gonna have to be careful I don't use too much putty on the VRM here in a few minutes. We don't want to go through that whole headache again. If it turns out where we're still running into issues, I might have to. I don't think we will. We'll be fine, but I may eventually need to swap out that TGPP10. And going off of a comment from Morpheus, I think I would like to test this TGPP10 that was on the VRM on the VRAM at some point, because this stuff we've like used and abused and like leached oil from it, so it's like a lot stiffer than it should be from factory, and we've like probably aged it a little quicker just by reducing the oil content, and it'd be good to test it and see how it performs at some point. A little bit of paste. Ooh, it's kind of a reflective light going off there. Okay, let's get some gloves on. It's odd, like when you work this stuff in your hands, because it felt firmer before. Even 2 days ago, when I was just like reshaping it, but it seems to like soften up as you need it in your hand. It's not the softest putty right now, but it's also not the hardest. So yeah, it's surprising for me that it seems to last quite a while sometimes. I'm gonna do a bit of a new technique here where I just kind of like dab the putty against the surface that I want it to go on, and just it puts down a little bit of a film of putty. Not much. This stuff is quite dry. But it helps it stick a little bit better. Taking me quite a while, but less is definitely more. You don't need to use as much putty as I previously was thinking we needed to. It's taken me a while to admit that. It's yeah, I was using way too much for quite some time. But hey, you live and learn, I guess. Just pressing down really lightly, just so it sticks. There we go. We've got a bunch left over. Alright, so we've reduced the amount of TGPP10. The pads aren't perfectly clean, but I'm honestly gonna test them like this anyways. We'll see. I've also got the results from when the Halnziye was on, so I think it's going to be okay. We'll do the tilt test, and it all stuck there. So let's get a close up here just before I put it back together. That's what the application looks like. I know it's kind of ugly, guys, with that green stuff there. I need to clean that better. I'm out of energy tonight. It's not ideal, and I get that, but I want to continue with the testing, so yeah. We're eventually going to retest all this stuff anyways and get hopefully more accurate results than we are currently capable of doing. And it might be on a 6950 XT. Maybe. Probably. But we're gonna get a bunch of pads on here first. And have like a half decent comparison chart. We'll do some shims. I'm thinking by the summertime we'll probably start retesting everything. And we'll probably just target the top tier stuff at first. And we'll work our way down the list as needed. But we'll start at the top. And this is like the sorting hat. This card, right? We got maybe plus or minus 1.5 degrees, somewhere around there. So we'll kind of get them all in the chart, and then we'll the next chart we'll start right at the top performing stuff and go down from there. Which is actually, it's probably the best way to test, because we know the high performing stuff isn't gonna let the card like destroy itself. And as we work down towards the bottom of the list, that's when we get into more dangerous temperature territory. I'm sure they'll be fine. Like the card's gonna throttle. It's not gonna, it shouldn't destroy itself, but Code String says, eager to see if you do find one card around. Yeah. I'm planning on buying, like, ideally a brand new card. I don't want to, like, I'm actually, usually I don't mind buying used cards. I don't always buy used cards, but, and I don't even, personally, I don't even care if they've been mined on. I've bought cards that have been mined on, and so far I've been lucky. I haven't had issues with those cards. I did have an issue with the R9 290X, but the issue only popped up when I switched from the AIO that it had back to an air cooler, or like the stock cooler, and then something shorted out, and then I realized there was some like basically capped on tape that I had removed unknowingly. This was like a number of years back, but yeah, don't just remove tape if you don't know what it's for. It's there for a reason. But like that was a user error, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, I don't know if you guys have anything you want to talk about or see, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna pop this card onto the test bench and get it going. Here we go. Back together again. This here is the cleanest PCI Express connector ever. I clean it every day, you know. Gotta dust it off. Oh, and I'll probably open up the Discord here in the next couple days as well. I'm hoping to finish the guide at the same time, but if not, I might just make a short little 2-minute video and post a link. We'll see. We'll see if I can get the guide done in time. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. This is a short one, but I just figured I would open it up and show you guys what I was doing. I'm sorry I didn't clean it as well as I would ideally do, but yeah, tonight I'm just too tired. But you guys have a good night, and thanks for checking out the stream, and probably be on tomorrow sometime. Thanks again.